Davey, how are you doing today, sir?
How are you?
Good. Do you have a Bible?
No. No, I don't need one. Thanks.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, you can take something else. If you get a chance, just read it. Read that. The Message changed my life.
Really?
Yeah. Tells about how Christianity is different than other world religions.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw a video this last week and it was pretty interesting.
Uh-huh.
It was titled, Jesus Christ Was a Buddhist Monk, a BBC documentary.
Huh.
It was very interesting. I watched the whole thing, and I usually don't watch a video from start to
Yeah.
finish. It was interesting. It was the differences in the different Gospels.
Uh-huh.
And then how the ascension aspect was added 200 years later. And
I wonder where they got that information.
The BBC, they're pretty respectable organization.
Yeah.
But it was a good one. It was good. Like, there's no mention of Jesus' life from age 13 to 30.
Correct?
In the
Yeah.
Gospel.
And so people make lots of speculations about what he did
They think he
during that
went to
time.
India.
That's what I've heard too before, but there's no historical proof of that. So
No, except scrolls in India.
talking about a young boy,
Yeah.
but not mentioning
And
who he
then
was or where he
in
came from. So
In Kashmir, the locals there believe that Jesus was buried there. And that was pretty interesting.
well, when you have a man like Jesus Christ who makes such a huge impact on the world,
Right.
you're going to have lots of rumors and speculations about what he did, what he was here for, where he went, what he taught.
What's your opinion on why the Gospels weren't written 50 or 60 years after his crucifixion?
Well, first of all, the distance between when the Gospels were written and the life of Jesus Christ is shorter than any other narrative or description in any other religious book. For instance, the Iliad that we have, the best copy that we have is close to like 1,000 years after when it was supposedly written. So the Bible has a lot of historical accuracy, and one of the best summaries of what you're talking about, New Testament scholars have now discovered that in the book of 1 Corinthians, that Paul could have wrote this as early as AD 32 or 35, so not very long after Jesus died. And he said, "Now, brothers, I want to remind you of the gospel I preached to you, which you received and on which you have taken your stand. By this gospel you are saved, if you hold firmly to the word I preached to you. Otherwise you have believed in vain. For what I received I pass on to you as of first importance, that Christ died for our sins according to the Scriptures, that he was buried, that he was raised on the third day according to the Scriptures, and that he appeared to Peter, and then to the 12. After that he appeared to more than 500 other brothers at the same time, most of whom are still living, though some have fallen asleep." And so he said, when he wrote this, that you can go and talk to people about, that saw Jesus Christ, the resurrected Jesus Christ. And whenever the Gospels were written, they were talking to, for instance, Mark and Luke and Matthew. They were interviewing people who actually lived with Jesus, followed Jesus, went around with Jesus. And so, but at the end of the day, my belief is that God inspired this holy word and that he's kept it for many, many, many years. Lots of people say the Bible's changed, but it's been around for thousands of years. And, there's been attempts, but it's still the same thing. If you go up to a Catholic and you read a Catholic Bible, it's mostly the same thing that this Bible is, except they have the Apocrypha, which is the books between the Old Testament and New Testament. If you go to a Nazarene church, they have the same Bible. If you go to a Baptist church, they have the same Bible. And so we're all reading the same text. And I think, if you believe in God, if you believe in a God who created everything, then I think you also have to agree that God could preserve his revelation to mankind in scriptures, right?
Interesting. All right, well, you have a good day.
Yeah.